Being alone is kind of scary. Being alone is kind of like an awkward topic to talk about, but I wanted to talk about it in the sense of being single and also like being alone in general. I feel like me going through an alone chapter in my life has been very beneficial because I was beginning to outgrow the environments that I was in, and I wanted to think bigger. I wanted to develop my character to be around different places or be around different people and learn new things. But I'm such a product of my environment. Like, whenever I'm certain places, I kind of just have a blast in that place and fully indulge in my conversations with people. And if they aren't on the same mindset as where I want to go in the future, it kind of holds me back in a way. At the job that I was working at, I was a server at a rooftop lounge, and I stopped working in the end of January. And I told my manager that one of the reasons is that I didn't want to be around alcohol anymore because I was drinking at work and I didn't want to be waking up hungover, and I just didn't want to be around alcohol and that type of like nightlife environment anymore. And her advice to me really was to just like have a stronger willpower whenever I'm there. And I suppose I could have done that, but for me, I just really felt like I needed to let go, and I needed to not really have a safety net for a job whenever I wanted to put so much more pressure on myself to pursue a different career field in general. Luckily for me, I had savings and money from school to last me a couple months while I figure everything out and embark on my new journey and spend time focusing and developing my character for the next phase of my life. I have been in Atlanta for 2 years now, and I think that being alone is something that I needed because I needed to reflect on my relationships with people and get more control of my emotions in a way, because something that I realized is that my attachment style to places or things was very aggressive. Like, I just became very attached, and in a lot of relationships that I developed with people, whenever I constantly was just like going and meeting new people and not really reflecting on them, I lacked boundaries, and I would let environments or people just become such a big part of my identity, and I would just drop all my goals and just like very much so partake in whatever I was doing at the time. And it kind of led me to resent those places or some people because I wasn't really getting the outcomes that I wanted. But it was never really any of their fault. Like, it really was my fault for being so attached and expecting like something out of it. I really needed time alone to realize that everything really starts with me. In the sense of being single, you know, they say like you can't love somebody until you love yourself. I really feel that because I needed to be more stable as a person and really gain more knowledge and gain more skills so that, for instance, in a job, I can just be confident that wherever I go, I know like what I'm doing, I know my purpose, I know what my end goals are, and whatever I'm doing job-wise is a stepping stone to getting me to the next place. I'm not going somewhere and putting my whole identity in that place. And then in the sense of relationships, I feel like being alone and spending a lot of time with myself and truly loving myself and loving my own company and knowing all of the productive things I can do on my own and knowing that I can take myself out to eat and stuff like that, I think is beneficial like whenever I do get into a relationship, because I know that I can live with myself and that I do not need to be dependent on another person to bring me happiness, to bring me joy, to bring me a sense of wholeness, because I've spent so much time alone that I know that I have all of those things within myself. And I feel like that is better in all type of relationships because I'm not really going to be searching for anything in the other person. I'm going to be able to just experience them for who they are and appreciate that, but still know that I'm good. And I feel like that would be very helpful to the other person because it just doesn't put that pressure on them to be a certain type of way for me. It just allows them to be who they are, and then I am who I am, and we can help each other, but we're not really dependent on each other. I feel like in being alone, my biggest focus has been developing myself to be the best version of myself that I can be whenever I do step into new environments and have interactions with new people, because I feel like I have lived so many lives, like the different places that I have lived, all the different phases of my life, knowing all these different people. I feel like one thing that was the problem whenever I was just like jumping around and I wasn't really like studying myself is that whenever I was like done with whatever phase it was in my life, I kind of just cut all the people off. And it really had nothing to do with them looking back, like it really was my lack of boundaries. And now that I've spent all this time developing myself and trying to prepare for whenever I do step back into like being very social, I'm just gonna be like fully prepared to handle it, because I don't want to cut off any more relationships or cut off any more places that I've been to, like different environments, because before I was like having this sense of like resentment whenever I would look back, and being around those people or being back in those places would just like, it would just remind me of a time where I felt disrespected, but that was all my fault. I never really would have realized that if I didn't spend so much time alone and reflecting and bettering myself. Being alone and not partying and not going out has given me a lot of time to focus. It's given me a lot of time to learn new skills, to really study, to figure out what I want, what my goals are, and to get things done in order to accomplish my goals. I feel like whenever I meet new people and I step back out into being social and just going out and things like that, I want to be the best version of myself. I do want to have these skills, and so whenever I'm around people, I can bring value to their lives. Something that I know as well is that this period of being alone is not going to last very long for me. It's been about a month so far where I really feel like I have zero attachments. I don't have a job. I don't really speak or hang out with work friends. I haven't really gone out to social events or gone out to lounges or clubs or anything like that for at least a month now, and I wasn't really doing it like that before. But in the next couple weeks, I think that I am going to start, dipping my toes in the water, because I don't want to get to a place where I'm like cut off from everybody and I'm not really socially aware and I'm not developing relationships, because I feel like that's something that I could forget how to do. I also think that being alone has helped me appreciate people even more, because now that I know what I am putting myself through to really try to become a better person and to be in a better position in life, I see that in other people, the fact that they're trying, the fact that people are genuinely good people. All of the self-development that I have done and realizing different things in my past that has led me to act in certain ways. Whenever I speak to people, I can kind of see that in their actions and the ways that they talk as well. And so I don't really pass judgment on people, and I feel like I've become more secure with myself to not let what people project be like an actual representation of myself, because spending time alone has made me very like good with myself. I know myself. I know who I am. I know what I want. I know my purpose. And so whenever I have good interactions with people, I appreciate it. And then whenever I have bad interactions with people, then I still appreciate it and I'm still like very understanding. I think that this whole month and this whole year, my focus has just been on being a better person. And I've been, reading books and studying different skills and putting things in practice, having more discipline. and I'm happy. I've already planned like solo dates that I want to go on with myself, and then I feel like once I do that, I need to go back outside. I need to be in social settings so I can attract people. If it's just like for networking or if it's for dating, I know that I need to be outside and I need to be around other people. But like I said, I feel like this period of alone time was just like very helpful for me, and I just wanted to share. That's pretty much all I have to talk about, so thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.